In our last episode, we kicked off this series with Anambra State and explored its contribution to Igbo civilization. If there's one thing that journey rendered us, it is that Igbo's story is far bigger than any single city or community or state, and every part of Igbo land added something important to the bigger picture. Which brings us to Anambra State. If you've ever wondered where some of the most important ideas, customs, and institutions in Igbo society came from, there's a good chance that Anambra State is part of the story. So what exactly did Anambra contribute to Igbo civilization? Let's get into it. Number one is the cradle of early Igbo civilization. If you're looking for some of the earliest evidence of advanced Igbo civilization, you have to start with Igbo-Ukwu. The famous Igbo-Ukwu archaeological discoveries revealed sophisticated bronze works, trade networks, and craftsmanship that dates back centuries before European contact. For many historians, Igbo-Ukwu remains one of the strongest pieces of evidence for the depth and complexity of early Igbo civilization. Number two is Nri and the foundations of Igbo society. Anambra also gave Igbo land one of its most important institutions, the Kingdom of Nri. Often regarded as the oldest kingdom in West Africa and the spiritual authority of early Igbo land, Nri influenced communities across the region through religion, culture, and diplomacy rather than military conquest. Many traditions associated with Igbo tradition or identity are linked to Nri, including the Ofo symbol of authority and justice, the New Year festival, the Nzenozo title system, and the 4-day Igbo week. So in many ways, we helped shape the cultural framework of traditional Igbo society. Number three is the commercial capital of Igbo land. If Aba symbolizes manufacturing, Onitsha symbolizes trade. For generations, it has been one of the most important commercial cities in West Africa. Its strategic location on the Niger River helped transform it into a major center of commerce, connecting different regions and peoples. Even today, it remains one of the biggest trading hubs on the continent. Then number four is the industrial heart of Igbo land. While Onitsha became famous for trade, Nnewi became famous for industry. Nnewi produced generations of manufacturers, of industrialists, and entrepreneurs who built businesses across Nigeria and even beyond. The city became so successful that many people began referring to it as the industrial capital of Igbo land. Then number five is the Igba Boi and the Igbo business model. You really cannot talk about Anambra without talking about Igba Boi. The Igbo apprenticeship system became one of the most successful indigenous wealth creation systems in Africa. And the model is very simple. Learn the business, master the trade, you start your own enterprise, and then help someone else do the same thing. This system helped create thousands of entrepreneurs and remains one of the pillars of Igbo economic success.
Because you want to software, hardware, both phone and laptop. If you meet a sticker, na laptop, I'm many things, even more. The laptop, you made the business.
Number six is Awka and the blacksmith tradition. Long before modern factories, Awka was already famous across the region for metalworking. Awka blacksmiths produced tools, weapons, farming equipment, and objects that were traded across Igbo land. Their skill became so respected that the city earned a reputation as one of the greatest centers of traditional Igbo craftsmanship. And then number seven are the leaders who shaped Nigeria and Igbo identity. Anambra has produced some of the most influential figures in Igbo and Nigerian history. People like Nnamdi Azikiwe, Chukwemeka Odumegwu, Ojukwu, Chinua Achebe. Each helped shape politics, literature, and the modern Igbo story in different ways. Number eight is the cultural influence beyond politics. Anambra's influence also extended to music, literature, and popular culture. The state has produced icons such as Oliver the Cook, Flavor, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and organizations like the People's Club of Nigeria. They helped shape social and cultural life across eastern Nigeria. And when you put all of this together, you begin to understand why Anambra occupies such a unique place in Igbo history. We're talking about the land of Igbo-Ukwu, the land of Nri, the place connected to the origins of institutions, traditions, and ideas that spread across much of Igbo land. From commerce in Onitsha, to industry in Nnewi, to metalworking in Awka, to the writers, musicians, and leaders who shaped modern Nigeria. Anambra's influence can be found almost everywhere you look in the Igbo story. And the truth is, we've only scratched the surface. There are still countless stories, people, traditions, and achievements we simply couldn't fit into one video. Let us know in the comments, what's one important Anambra contribution that you think deserves a mention? And if you've been enjoying this series, make sure you subscribe to the Voice of the East, like this video, and share it with someone who loves history as well. Next, we're heading to Delta State to explore its contribution to Igbo civilization. And trust me, that is another fascinating story. We'll see you in the next video.